Welcome to the Canadian Beef Cattle Podcast, presented by the Beef Cattle Research Council. The most popular content from beefresearch.ca, available on the go. Before we get into this week's episode, a quick message from the BCRC.
Forage management is an important part of beef farming and ranching. Forage U-Pick is an interactive initiative aimed at providing farmers and ranchers with resources and tools to make informed decisions about forage management. It offers online learning modules and resources on various aspects of forage management, including selecting the right forage species, calculating your seeding rates, and forage weed management. Explore the Forage U-Pick resources and how it can work from your operations by clicking the link in the show notes. This episode is titled, A Ranching Family's Approach to Conservation and Changing Landscapes.
Nestled in the arid South Okanagan, Thomas Ranches is a multi-generational operation that balances ranching with conservation. In 2000, the Thomas family sold their land to the Nature Trust of British Columbia, preserving natural habitat while continuing cattle operations under a lease agreement. Today, Brian Thomas manages 200 head of cattle on 350 acres, while the remaining 1,650 acres dedicated to wildlife habitat. Effective water management is crucial to sustaining both livestock and the surrounding ecosystem in this dry region. Thomas Ranches relies on a creek-fed storage dam and an extensive irrigation system. This helps them manage water shortages in a dry climate that gets less than a foot of annual rainfall. Frequent droughts have intensified competition for water resources, and the impacts of increasing population growth, tourism, and conservation efforts place additional demands on an already limited supply. Wildfires also pose ongoing risks. A wildfire in 2021 burned nearly half of the ranch's land. However, the resulting reduction in tree cover ultimately increased water availability by reducing vegetation uptake. Wildlife protection adds complexity, as the ranch's rugged terrain supports species like California bighorn sheep, elk, and mule deer, necessitating careful water stewardship. Despite scrutiny of agricultural water use, Brian underscores that broader water use by humans is a major driver of water shortages, not cattle consumption. This reinforces the need for proactive water management to ensure long-term sustainability. These pressures have shaped Brian's mindset, strengthening his focus on planning, advocacy, and preparedness. The ranch's storage dam, originally built in 1943 and expanded over the years, is vital for maintaining water availability throughout the year. The earthen embankment dam creates a reservoir that collects and holds water during wetter periods, like during spring snowmelt or heavy rainfall. The stored water can be used during drier months. Additionally, springs and roadside ditches provide secondary water sources for cattle on Crown rangeland, where cow graze from May to October. To reduce irrigation water waste, the ranch has transitioned from above-ground aluminum pipes to underground PVC pipelines, significantly lowering water loss through leaks and evaporation. Additionally, pivot irrigation systems are replacing older handline and reel irrigators, further improving efficiency. These improvements have significantly reduced overall water consumption, which helps ensure the cattle have the water they need, even in drier periods. There is a practical water analysis guide found in the show notes for beef producers that outlines key questions and considerations to support decision-making around different watering solutions for cattle. Historically, cattle drank directly from creeks, but all riparian areas on the ranch are now fenced off to protect the watercourses from contamination and erosion. Instead, water is delivered via underground gravity-fed pipes to troughs, ensuring a constant supply while protecting water quality. This change was supported by federal and provincial funding through the Species at Risk program, benefiting both cattle and local wildlife. Additionally, this practice enhances the ranch's image as the public appreciates seeing natural water sources protected. The ranch holds historic water licenses dating back to the 1870s, ensuring legal access to water from the McLean Creek and the storage dam. However, regulatory challenges persist, particularly regarding water rights in British Columbia, with concerns about stock water rights on Crown land. The BC Cattlemen's Association is advocating for improved stockwater regulations to provide greater security for ranchers, ensuring reliable water sources for their cattle. In collaboration with industry groups, Brian is actively involved in discussions about policies that recognize the importance of agricultural water use and support cattle health and productivity. So here are your 4 key water management takeaways from this episode. Number 1, plan for drought. Water storage infrastructure is essential during dry periods. Number 2, protect natural water sources. Fencing off creeks and utilizing off-stream water systems improves water quality for both cattle and wildlife. Number 3, monitor and adapt to changing conditions. Wildfires, drought, and increasing human activity require continuous adjustments to water management strategies. And number 4, work collaboratively. By working together, beef cattle producers can ensure their water needs are understood and considered in provincial planning. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. You can find all relevant links and information at beefresearch.ca or in the show notes. The Beef Cattle Research Council is funded by the Canadian Beef Cattle Checkoff and strives for excellence in the production of Canadian beef, cattle, and forage through research, innovation, and extension. Tune in every Tuesday as the Canadian Beef Cattle Podcast delivers straightforward insights, expert information, and a wealth of practical knowledge for Canadian beef producers. Subscribe now